It is so good to see you. Yeah, I'd like to imagine that you are all sitting out here with me on this glorious fall day. I hope you're doing okay. And I hope you're remembering every day how much God loves you. I know it can be easy to forget that sometimes, especially when we're really busy or worried or maybe feeling bad about something we've done or not done. But God loves you every single day, no matter what you are feeling or thinking or doing. And everyone needs to be reminded of that sometimes. That's why we need community and why our church community is so important. It's one of the places, or one of the groups of people in our lives that's greatest purpose is to remind each other of God's love. And I even get paid to do that. Isn't that cool? I get paid to do something I love doing anyway. I'd even do it for free. But maybe don't tell my boss that, okay? So because it's been a while since I've seen you and since we've been able to be here at the church together, I'm going to do a little series of videos over the next few weeks about God's love. These videos are not just for kids, they are for everyone. Because to be honest, I think grown-ups kind of need to remember God's love even more than kids. We're a little forgetful, you know. So this series is going to be about two important things. Each week, I'm going to talk about connecting with God, and then I'm going to talk about something we can do to share God's love. Before we can do anything else, we need to make sure we have made a God connection. Because see, God is always connected to us. That never changes. God is just a part of who we are. Ever since the beginning of our creation, God has been a part of us. But sometimes we forget about that connection. And I know when I've forgotten about my connection with God, because that's when I start to feel grumpy and sad. And everyone around me starts to annoy me. And I might even start to do things that I don't really feel very good about. I also feel tired, and I don't really care about anything, even the things that are usually pretty important to me. Jesus always took time to connect with God. There's many stories in the Bible about Jesus going off somewhere to pray. Or sometimes he just gathered his best friends around him to talk and be together. He also went to church, which for him, because he was Jewish, was called a synagogue. And he read the Bible. Jesus knew that he needed to connect with God in order to do his very important work of sharing God's love with others. So today, the connect with God idea that I want to share with you, and this is one of my favorite, is something called mindfulness. Now, some of you may have already heard of this and are already doing it. But for those who haven't, it basically means being fully present in what is happening right now. It means noticing things around you. Humans tend to think a lot. And we tend to think about things that are worrying us. So this is an opportunity for us to turn our thinking brain off. Now, in a mindfulness practice, I just want you to find something, to notice something, anything, and to put all of your attention onto it. Notice what it looks like, what it feels like, maybe what it smells like, or maybe what it sounds like or tastes like if it's safe to eat. And try to notice it with awe and wonder, like it's the very first time you're seeing it or feeling it or hearing it or tasting it. Just let yourself be totally amazed by it. And then give thanks to God for this item and for all of creation. So for example, I'm going to pick up this leaf right here. Okay? So what do I notice? Well, I notice the color. It's yellow, beautiful yellow, and it has these little spots on it. And the front is shiny, and the back is a little less shiny. And it has 3 leaves attached to this stem. I notice the little veins in here. And the patterns in them. And they feel almost kind of like paper. They're fairly thick. They feel very tough. And the stem feels a little rough, and it has a knot right here. I don't think I'll taste it. And so now I would just spend several minutes just looking and feeling, just connecting with this leaf, with this piece of creation, and appreciating it, focusing all my attention right here, and remembering that this is part of the creation that God created. And because God created this part of creation, and God also created me, that we are connected. And then I'm just going to give thanks to God for this leaf and for the tree that grew it, for the changing of the seasons, and for this opportunity to just be. Oh, wow. Now that feels pretty good. I really do feel connected to God right now. And now I feel ready to share God's love. One of the most important stories from the Bible is when Jesus told of the greatest commandment, the one rule that is more important than all of the others. And he said that we should love God with all our hearts, with all our souls, with all our minds, our bodies. We should just love God with our whole selves. And then we should also love our neighbors. And when I think of neighbors, I don't think of the people necessarily who just live right next door to me. I think of neighbors as all God's people. They're neighbors in creation. So there's something I really like to do, and it's pretty easy and fun and also a little bit mysterious. So let's go inside and I'll show you what it is. So I like to write notes like this. I like to write a bunch of different things. Things like you are a blessing, or you are loved, or you are not alone, never give up, things like that. So they would be something like this. So this is the outside. It says, please read. And then inside it says, dear you, never give up on yourself. You can do anything. Love someone who wants to make the world better. Just like this. So I'll make a few of these up on different colored pieces of paper, and then I'll hide them for people to find. I've left notes between milk cartons at the grocery store. I've left them on bus seats, in coat pockets, in a friend's backpack, or if I'm at their house, I'll leave it somewhere for them to find later. I've even just put them in strangers' mailboxes. Everyone needs to hear encouraging words sometimes. I know when someone says something kind or comforting to me, it always makes me feel a little bit better. So I'm inviting you to try that this week. Both of these things. Connect with God through mindfulness, fill yourself up with that connection, and then write a mystery note to a stranger. And then pay attention to how these things make you feel. And if you're up for it, I sure would love to hear from you. So if you could send me a photo of your note, or just send me an email or a text to let me know how this went for you. I would love to connect with you in this way, to hear how this is having an impact on you. All right, and so that's it for this week, and next week we'll come back for part 2. And friends, I hope that you have the most blessed week, and that you will find moments of gratitude and joy in everything you do, and that you will also find opportunities to share God's love with others, because other people, including us, need God's love right now. And when we share love with others, it is coming back to us as well. So, blessed be to all of you, and I will see you next week.